the latest video, Shake the Disease. And in the control room is Martin Gore from Depeche. And, well, who is this? Who is this character, you know? I mean, David Bellamy? Who is it?
Well, I've got some creepy qualities.
Around here. Alan Whiling and Martin.
I'd like to point out to the lads and everyone we know out there, I tried to talk him out of this.
But he's been in makeup and he's been having a little root around, haven't you, Joke?
What do you mean?
Well, yeah, absolutely. Listen, how long have you two known each other? About?
Oh, 4 years, 3 years, 3.5 years, something like that.
So you weren't at school together?
No.
But you see a lot of each other. I mean, you're constantly touring and constantly playing together. Do you ever get sick of each other? Do you ever sort of start having rows? Really?
No, we're not too bad. I mean, only Fletch, you know, Fletch gets on our nerves a lot. Oh, obviously, yeah, he's a very irritating person.
Really?
No, we get on reasonably well, you know, most of the time. Obviously, when you've been on tour and in each other's pockets for a month or so, you know, then it's...
What do you argue about, though? I mean, what things sort of tend to get you all going?
Totally stupid things, you know, nothing important. All the important things we totally agree on. All the stupid things we argue about, don't we?
Yeah. You should have said no there. No, we don't argue. Now, we went to Lightwater Valley last week, Maggie Philbin and I. We took the mobile pitch unit over to Lightwater Valley. And incidentally, it's a wonderful place to go. Go have a look at the maternity pig unit that we showed earlier on. There are loads of attractions, of course. We met some Depeche Mode fans. And apart from wanting to ask you loads of questions, they were also brave enough to have a go on the incredible Hell Slide. It is incredible. The top of it is absolutely awful. Carol said to you, would you have come down the Hell Slide? Well, would you have come down the Hell Slide, Martin?
Yes.
In a word. Have you ever sort of been down? What do you like on Big Dippers and roller coasters and things?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. Nothing bothers you?
Not really.
What about these Big Dippers that go upside down? Would you fancy having a go at that?
I think I've been on one before, yeah.
Yeah. That is the worst, just sat at the top and sort of plunging off. What about you, Alan? Are you fairly brave on these things?
No, not really. No, I don't like them very much.
OK, Graham asked, first of all. He was the one with the dirty yellow socks, by the way. He said, what's your other favourite pop group? Martin?
I think my favourite pop group of all time is Sparks.
Sparks? Why?
Not so much now, but their early stuff, about 3 albums or so, very, very good.
This town ain't big enough for the both of us.
All that stuff, yeah.
We never hear much of them now, do we?
No, I think they've got some new stuff coming out, though.
Really? So they're still around?
Yeah.
What about you, Alan? Your favourite pop group? Apart from Depeche.
ZZ Top.
ZZ Top, why?
Well, they're just, you know, they're just the best,
The image.
The image, everything.
Image. Talking about image, look at this beard. I mean, just look at it. It's wonderful.
Well, don't you like it?
I think it's great. I think it's about time you had a shave.
It's different.
Anna then came down. She was one with the Who sweater on. She said, what's your most embarrassing moment ever? Ever. Martin?
I haven't got one that actually stands out as being most embarrassing. They're all sort of equally as embarrassing.
Yeah.
And it's usually when I've had, you know, sort of a bit too much to drink.
Anything you can tell us? Anything you can tell us?
Not really, not now.
Tell me later. Alan?
Yeah, nothing that can be revealed on television. I'm sorry about that. You know.
No problems on stage? Like, forgetting the songs or...
That's all on tape.
Oh, well, yes, I mean, I wasn't going to say that.
That's pretty embarrassing.
Yes.
No, Fletch had quite an embarrassing moment. He broke his arm on the last tour, fell out of the bath. Oh. Or was it that Fletch? I can't remember, something like that. No, he told us enough times, that's what it was.
You've heard the news about Spandau Ballet, of course, about Steve Norman doing his knee. I mean, that must be a very embarrassing thing to happen, because he apparently slid along the floor.
Well, he's out of action, isn't he?
And he's completely out of action. He was sliding along the floor doing a sort of knee slide, and he's wrecked his knee. So, you know, get well soon, Steve. Apparently they're at the end of their tour, so it's not too bad. Now, the girl in the red and black check shirt, she came next, and she said, who inspired you to start playing? Who inspired you to start playing?
Gary Glitter.
Gary Glitter, really?
Yeah.
Why? Because you're obviously quite young then when you...
I just sort of really liked his songs and his image, you know, I was taken in by his image. The big eyes.
But it's a completely different image. I mean, you haven't got anything like that kind of image, have you? Not that very upfront sort of image.
Well, I don't mean I sort of want to copy him or sort of be like that, but I was taken in by it at the time, and I was about 12.
Yeah. He's a great performer, isn't he? Wonderful performer, and he's still around, which is great. Yeah. Alan?
Well, I'll go back slightly before that glam rock period, you know. No, I think Beatles, you know, I'd have to say them, really.
Yeah, the Beatles. Now, how did Depeche actually get together? Tell us the story of Depeche.
Go on, Martin.
Go on, Martin. You tell us.
Well,
we sort of got together about 5 years ago. And originally it was just me, Andy and Vince Clark, who went on to form Yazoo. And then we sort of got Dave in as the singer, started playing around locally and things. It just, like, I knew Andy from school, Vince lived out my back, and Dave just lived over the other side of town, so you know, we all sort of knew each other roughly.
So what sort of places did you play? Did you actually get to play at school at all?
We did play actually at mine and Andy's school.
Yeah.
You know, sort of just a youth club or something.
Yeah. We
played another youth club in Basildon. They were the sort of the first 2 concerts that we did.
Do you ever sort of go back and pay a visit to home and play, or not?
No. It's too difficult these days, you know, getting it all together.
Yeah, you're
getting
so
the whole
busy.
show together.
They're so busy, folks. It's wonderful. Now then, competition time again. Hang around. We'll be hearing more from Martin because there are a couple. You've had 12 sort of chart singles hits, but you've never had a #1, have you?
No.
Why do you think you've never had a #1?
Well, it's a very difficult question to answer that, really. You know, we just keep trying our best, and I mean, it's not vital to us to have a #1 anyway. So although it would be nice, of course. But
what kind of a difference does it make, though? I mean, is it enough for a band just to do very well, like you have done very well, or really is getting a #1 very important in terms of, obviously, financially and carrying on working afterwards?
It's you know, it's nice to carry on at this level. If we could carry on at this level for the next, you know, however much time, we'd be happy.
Yeah.
You know, so we're enjoying what we're doing, so.
Because with all the competition around, you know, you're still there, which is great. I remember when you first played on Get Set for Summer in this very studio. What was that, 4 years ago? Something like 4 years ago, yeah. Right, now then we'll go back to Lightwater Valley, to the kids who were asking questions coming down the hell slide. And Mark asked, if you hadn't taken pop music as your career, what would you have been? What do you think you'd have been, Martin?
Well, when I left school, I worked in a bank for a year.
Did you?
Sort of just getting some money together.
Yeah.
And if it hadn't taken off, I'd have probably still been there, you know.
You must have been quite bright, because, I mean, you can't just walk into a bank and get a job. You must have done quite well at school.
Reasonably well, but yeah, I think it's not that difficult to get a job in a bank.
Haven't you got to 5 O levels or something?
Possibly, yeah.
Well, that's not bad. That's more than I got. What did you get? Tell us about how you did at school.
I did quite well. I stayed on until I was 18.
Yeah.
Did 2 A levels.
So he was bright, you see. He was very bright. He's just being modest about it. Alan, what about you? What would you have done if you...
Well, when I left school, I worked in a recording studio for a while, and I probably would... I mean, I would have been involved in the music business in some direction or other, I think, you know, because it was the only thing I was ever really interested in. So maybe I would have still been there.
But did you ever visualise then that you'd actually be performing instead of just working behind the scenes?
Well, yeah, I wanted to, yeah. That's how I got involved in a band, because I always wanted to be in a band.
Yeah, right. Wonderful. Yes.
And I think we've got some videos to give away today.
Yeah.
And our question is very simple. Where was it recorded? It's so simple, it's on the cover, but so I've got to cover it up.
Well, there's so many names on this. What are you doing this weekend? Where are you off to?
Well, Martin's flying back to Berlin, aren't you, Mark?
I'll be in Berlin.
Pops over there.
You're based in Berlin?
That's right, yes.
Are you very well known in Germany?
Quite well known, yeah.
Yeah? As well known as over here? Probably more, I think you are, aren't you?
Probably a bit more, yeah.
Great. Well, thanks to you both for coming in. I know it's been very early, and thanks for having a shave during the programme. We appreciate that. Yeah. Right, now then, back to our postcode competition and question number 5. OK, here we go. At 1:30 today, on the 4th of May, there'll be a...